guys, welcome back to Harry Makes It Up. Today I thought I'd do a little bit of a different video. I'm sat here with my full coverage mug, just sipping, it would be tea but our milk's gone off and we need to go and get groceries, which is really sad, so I'm drinking water because it's really hot. So today's video, I thought I would talk about 10 things I've learned from being a makeup artist. I thought this might be helpful for anyone who is already in the makeup industry or looking to get into the makeup industry, and kind of, yeah, there might be some pointers in here, some things you can take away. So I thought I would just share with you things I've learned, and there might be something in here you can take away that might be relevant to your work. If there's not, just get a cup of tea and this is going to be a nice little chatty video. So the first thing will come as no surprise, and that is I've learned to be organised. And I say that with a laugh because I'm already like the most organised person I know, I think of anyway. Like, that's kind of my hobby, which is really sad. But organisation for me anyway just makes me work more efficiently. It makes me a better friend, it makes me a better wife, it makes me a better person because I'm just more present generally when I'm organised. And I think for me as well, I want to do my job well. That's what I've learned as well. So for me, learning to be organised with relation to being a makeup artist, I think there's a lot of beforehand work. And also with that, what I mean is because I do Harry Makes It Up as well, and at the minute I still run everything myself. I film it myself, I edit myself, which is why my filming is often quite standard because I'm not a camera person, but I'm learning. I do feel that being organised definitely means that I come home from a job and I make sure my kit is ready to go for the next day. I wash my brushes as soon as I get home. I kind of really get into this habit of getting everything ready for the next shoot. So everything is good to go, and I take inventory of my kit. So if I have, I'm low on tissues, I know I have tissues ready to go in, cotton wool, cotton buds, all the things that are like my sundry items, miscellaneous things. I always make sure I have backups. So being organised, being time efficient, time management, things like that, I think you get really good at just learning how to be on it, kind of for everything that's very last minute as well, if that makes sense. So being organised is definitely something that, even though it's a hobby, I've definitely learned to embrace even more. So the second one is to listen. Now that might sound really obvious and again really boring, but I feel like naturally I am quite a hyperactive person. I'm quite an extrovert. I love to talk, which you probably would gather by now if you've been watching my YouTube channel a while. I love also meeting other people that are like that and really love to talk, which I think is why I love my job, because I'm always meeting new people. It's like you're always socialising, but it is work, and I think that's quite a skill in itself to be good around people. But what I mean is, I feel like naturally I just love getting to know people and I love talking, and I've really had to learn to like stop, listen, let someone have their time. And it might sound like a really obvious thing, but I think that's something I really had to learn, and I have learned from being a makeup artist, is to sit back, be quiet, and hear what someone needs. Sometimes being a makeup artist as well, you're kind of like part therapist as well. You are the person that when they sit down, they get that bit of alone time, they get a bit of one-on-one. I think the sense of touch is really, really important, and especially with kind of like such a digital age we live in now, that I think is still so necessary, especially whether you go to have a facial or something like that. And I think being able to listen to people is a really important one, not just in the most obvious sense of like being on a set or on a shoot when, someone's talking about the idea or things changing. I think it's always easy to kind of have your say, but to listen is actually a really important skill. And I think also part of learning to listen kind of encapsulates working in a team. I think I'd like to think I've always been a team player. Like, I love being around other people. Like, literally, even when I film YouTube at home, I get to a point where I can't wait for like Dave to come home, or I can't wait to go and see a friend, because it's quite isolating. Like, I love being with people, and yeah, I also love my own time as well. So it's kind of a bit of a juxtaposition there, but I do love being with people, and I am a people person. So being a team player as well, I feel like really encapsulates being part of being able to listen well and respond. Definitely my personal life, I can still improve on that, but with work, I feel like that's something that I've got a lot better at. So the third one is having your network, and by that I don't mean social network, I mean having people that love you for you, and I'm not saying that I have friends that are with me because of what I do, but I feel like it's having people around you that love you no matter what your work is or who you're working with or what you're doing. And I think it's really important to have people that when you have had a bad day, because I love this industry and I'm incredibly lucky to do what I do for a job, but there are days where I've worked crazy long hours and it's tiring, and even when you first start out, you're not earning money straight away. It's actually one of those industries I think people don't talk enough about, the you know, the reality of it, that you are assisting a lot for free at the beginning, and it's tiring, and you're frightened that you're not going to earn money and you're going to let people down. And I mean, at least that was my experience. I definitely worried that, you know, I hope my dream's worth it, so to speak. So I feel like having that strong support network around you, so whether that's friends, family, loved ones, I know who to go to if I feel like I have a down day or if I have a tough day at work. And that I definitely think applies to like any job you're doing. Like everybody needs someone to be able to pick them back up, but also, you know, just get some TLC from when you need it. And yeah, I feel like that's something, again, these might sound obvious, some of them, but learning, you know, learning to ask for help as well when you need to look after your body, when you need to give yourself a bit of respite, knowing that your mental health is just as important as your physical health. And for me, those two are kind of really intertwined. So I definitely feel like I have to kind of have my support network, have my time for me, my alone time, and also be with people who understand me and want me to be my best self as well, and want me to be happy and healthy. I think that's a really, really beautiful thing. So number 4 is that I'm still learning, and I'm sure most of us are, you know, in every kind of element of life in general, but definitely with my work, I think there's a lot of egos in my industry, people who kind of think they know everything, and I'm the first to hold my hands up and say, no, I'm still learning. You know, there are new formulations coming out all the time, there's new creatives who are younger than me, and, you know, amazing talent, like, and I think it's really important not to compare yourself and try and get to that point where you know that you're still learning, and that's okay. Like, we never stop learning, and I think especially in a creative industry, embracing that kind of as an exciting thing and a challenge, you know, to always be kind of improving yourself, self-growth. And even within my job, like, I want to be the best makeup artist I can be, and that doesn't mean I need to be the same as somebody else. It'll be whatever that is for me and my journey. So number 5 is that everyone has insecurities. Now, you know, with my job, I do work with a lot of, I don't want to do inverted commas, but I do work with a lot of beautiful people. I work with models, I work with singers, I work with actresses, and I think I really see how it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how much you feel you are society's version of beautiful, everyone has insecurities. And I think that's very humbling as well to be around and see that, you know, everyone has to find their version of beautiful for them and only compare them to their kind of higher self, if you like. So that's definitely something that I'm always aware of, and, you know, I learned from very early on in my industry, but now I'm older as well, I really see it that you can't presume just because someone looks a certain way that their life's great and everything's wonderful and they never have issues, they never have problems. I think that's the thing, it's like we're all human beings. And again, come back to this idea of a network and support, we all need that. So I think the main point I'm trying to get across is that I really learn, and again, it might sound obvious, but especially when you're young in this industry, when I first started out, you know, it's very easy to make people inhuman in that you can give them magical powers where they never get upset, their life is wonderful, and you make all kinds of presumptions and judgments. And I think really letting go of that and trying to, you know, just see the person, and, you know, again, that thing of listening, and, you know, they might have stuff going on, and being kind of patient with that as well, and that they might need some time. You know, again, a shoot for a lot of people is work, so even if you are talent in the sense of an actress, a model, you know, it might just be a day at work, so that you'd really rather be in bed, but you have to be at work, so you've shown up for yourself, but also knowing that that person might be going through a lot of stuff. And, you know, everyone has insecurities. So number 6 is owning who you are. I feel like a lot of these are kind of all sounding very self-help book, but I think I can only give my honest opinion, and these are the things I've learned from being a makeup artist. And, you know, I think as well, when you come into the industry, it always feels like there's someone better than you, someone who's doing bigger things. And again, with Instagram now, with social media, it's so easy to compare. And I love that saying, like, comparing is despairing. Like, you know, if you're comparing yourself against someone, very rarely does it make you feel good about yourself. And I'm no exception. You know, it's so easy to feel like I see people and think, oh, I'm not doing what they're doing, oh, they're doing big. But it's so pointless, it's such a waste of energy. And I love that saying, just do. Like, just keep doing. Like, your time will come, whatever it's meant to be. Like, we all have our own journey, destiny that's kind of planned for us. And I believe in my dreams and what I want, but I also know that, you know, life takes different roads sometimes and takes you somewhere unexpected. So I think that's definitely a big one for me, is, you know, not comparing, being true to who I am and what I believe in and what I want. So number 7 is losing your creative mojo. It is a thing, people. So I kind of feel like losing your creative mojo is something that, again, if you're in any kind of creative industry, I'm sure a lot of people identify with this. It is a thing and it's normal. Like, I don't feel like it's possible to be creative every waking second of the moment and within that creativity enjoy every single thing you produce or every idea you have. And I know when I first started out, I put so much pressure on myself to have like the most amazing idea I could think of or the most beautiful makeup I could create. And you know, again, they all kind of encapsulate each other, I think, as well, all these different points, but that thing of like you're still learning. And I think just accepting that sometimes, no matter how hard you try, you're just not inspired, and that's okay. Like, sometimes it might mean that you need a bit of downtime. Like for me, I definitely know that when I feel like that, it probably means that I'm overtired, or you know, I just need to change the scenery. It might be that I need to go to a museum, I might need to go see an art exhibition, read a book, or just do something that kind of triggers something in my imagination. I feel like that is where I go back to being creative. So I feel like getting out the house, doing something different, and just kind of breaking the routine I've got into, and also being able to just walk away from it and accepting I'm not creative right now. It doesn't mean my brain is creatively empty, it's just part-time empty. You know, it just needs a little bit of respite for the engine to kick back in again. So that's how I handle that one, and I really have acceptance that creativity comes in and out, ebbs and flows, and that's totally okay. So number 8 is making some form of structure for yourself. And I say this because I feel like as a makeup artist, the biggest thing I've learned, and I'm sure anyone else who's, you know, working to be a makeup artist or is in the same industry as me, you have no structure in this industry. It is very, very last minute. It is very, what's the word? Things change by days, nights. You know, I've had call sheets sent to me at 11 o'clock at night, midnight, where the time changes, the location changes. I sometimes find out if I'm working last minute the day before, and that's very strange for a lot of people to get their head around, especially friends and family I have who love me dearly and totally accept what I do. Even for them, sometimes they're like, can you go on holiday on this date? Can you do this? And generally I can, but then there's also times when if a great job comes up or a great opportunity, I might choose that because it feels right in that right moment. And you know, that can be quite hard to get used to, and especially when you first start out, you're kind of saying yes to everything, and especially in regards to making money and earning a living as a makeup artist, you know, you're gonna have to really put yourself out there. So my main point is find something that for you feels like a sense of structure, because I know that when I come home, you guys know I'm obsessed with my planning, and I feel like that really gives me some sense of like hold on the day, whether if things change last minute, I know what I plan to do that day. I know what, even if I have a shoot that day and I need to edit in the evening, I'll kind of write it down, so I feel like I make some kind of schedule for myself. And I'm very flexible with it because I know my work means that things change very quickly and very last minute, and that's okay. You know, I've never known any different in a way, so it's fine. But I also think that's one of the biggest things. I know people come into my industry and find it very, very hard that there is no structure. You know, I work Sundays sometimes, I work Saturdays. I don't ever work the exact same hours every week. So, and I love that, but again, it's something to be aware of if you are looking to come into this industry. So number 9 is not to forget why you started, or don't forget why you started. So, you know, I am very, very lucky, as I've said, to earn a living doing what I love. And sometimes it does just feel like work too, and that's okay. You know, I don't need to feel guilty saying that. I don't need to apologize for that. And at the same time, I do realize how grateful I am, but I also worked hard to get there. And I think it's important when you are assisting a lot, when you're working a lot for free and starting out and building your portfolio and building clients, that you can remember why you started this. So whether that's having like an end goal to focus on, whether it's a particular magazine cover, working at a particular runway show, being in a particular, I think I said magazine, you know, working with a particular artist, whatever your goal is, remember why you started. I think if you can come back to a goal, I think it makes it so much easier to kind of get through those hard days, keep moving forward, and yeah, it just gives you that kind of really good motivation when you need it most. So number 10, the final thing I've learned as a makeup artist is good things come to those who wait. So, you know, I've been a makeup artist maybe 10, 12 years, probably coming up to 12 years now, and it's taken time, and by no means am I 100%, I'm not ready to be like, yeah, I'm finished now, I've done everything I wanted to do. But then I'll probably never have done everything I wanted to do if there was like an endless bucket list. But I do believe that good things come to those who wait, and not just wait, but people who do. I feel like whatever you do, just keep doing. Even if the door slams in your face 10 times, go 11. You know, you just never know when you'll be in the right place at the right time. And funny enough, I can't believe this is Kris Jenner that said this, but I think she said something like, if someone says no, you're asking the wrong person. And I love that quote. I think that's such a great outlook to have on life. You know, you're just not speaking to the right person, or it might not be the right day for that person. You know, never be never chase people or be like crazy stalker, that's not cool. But, you know, be determined and think about, you know, is there something, could you get a friend to help you write an email better if you feel like you're not good at writing emails? What is it in your portfolio that's lacking that you feel like is stopping you getting that job you want or that dream? You know, kind of, for me, often at the beginning, I would write down what the things that I'm missing that will get me closer to that goal, to that dream. And what are those good things that I'm, you know, hoping for. And I feel like as long as I keep doing, good things come. And sometimes they're not always the things that I thought would come. Sometimes they're surprises, lovely surprises. You know, I first started out, I had no intention of doing YouTube. And quite honestly, one day I was just like, I think I could do that. I think I'd enjoy that. And I wanted to try it. I just felt like it was another challenge. The thought of being on a screen talking to you guys kind of terrified me. And even as I started making this video a minute ago, it still terrifies me a bit, but in a good way. Like I said to you, if I'm terrified of it, I kind of need to do it. And I know I'll grow from that. There'll be something in that that I overcome as a hurdle, which hopefully will help as another kind of life skill. So I really do believe in, you know, hold out for whatever it is. And that might not be, if you're not a makeup artist, it might be something within your career that's special to you. But I do think if you keep doing and keep putting yourself out there, you know, ask yourself what's missing, ask yourself what the steps are to get there, and are you working towards even the steps as opposed to the goal? Like, is it, you know, little baby steps you can take to get there? And just keep doing, and I do think good things come, even if it's not the things that you thought you wanted. Maybe it'll be something else, or it'll come in a different shape or form, but just keep putting yourself out there, keep working hard, and, you know, believe that if you do, things happen. I really do believe that. So that's pretty much it, guys. That is my 10 things I've learned from being a makeup artist. Sorry if my voice kind of sounds tired. I think it is because I'm tired, which is cool. But yeah, I just thought I'd have a chatty video with you, sit down, have a not cup of tea, glass of boring water. Water's good for you. I hope you guys are having a nice weekend, or whatever you're doing. I hope you're having a good time. And you know, if you have any questions about the industry, feel free to ask them down in the comments below. And I'll see you soon for more videos, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.